Disgraceful, just disgraceful. I mean, really, a big engine like me should be flying down with an express, not stuck for all hours.
Stop your whining. Goodness me, you're acting like my 10-year-old.
10-year-old? 10-year-old? Who gave you the right to be cheeky to me? You know that I am Gordon, the fastest and biggest engine on the whole
Shut up, Gordon, for goodness sake. Gordon was cross. He had just had an accident at the bottom of Gordon's Hill and was in a siding waiting to be picked up and taken back to the yards. He was having the time of his life before that, and this is how it all began. When Spencer went home to the Duke and Duchess of Boxford, Gordon had to see to the rest of Henry's trains. Now at first, Gordon hesitated the idea, but after working on some of the jobs Henry had to do, he didn't mind them.
Not the best, but it's quiet work, I suppose,
he would say to the others. The others felt relieved that Gordon had another thing to talk about instead of coaches. Until one day in summer, Gordon was waiting at a signal when Boko pulled up alongside.
Hello there, Gordon.
Boko smiled kindly.
How are things with the trucks? Hard work, mumbled Gordon. Brakes slipping, hot axles, breakaways. I don't know how Henry copes with these loud creatures. I see. Well, trucks will be trucks, added Boko. But... Oh, I wish I could stay, but my signal's down. Goodbye.
And with a growl and a roar, the Metropolitan diesel oiled away. Later, Gordon followed on, but as he did...
Oh, goodness me! What's up now?
One of the truck's brakes has slipped on. Again, replied the driver.
Oh, the indignity of it all.
For the rest of the week, the trucks kept playing tricks. One day, they pushed Gordon down the line, almost colliding with James at a red signal.
You could have squashed me!
Another time, they broke away before Gordon reached Wellsworth. One delay followed another, and Gordon began to lose patience.
I've had it,
he said at last in the sheds that night.
I refuse to pull any more goods trains, only to be used as bait.
Stop complaining, James said. At least you don't have to shunt them around like I do.
Yes, but you don't understand, James, Gordon continued. Having to do with trucks that are far too troublesome can be very stressful for a locomotive like me. Now let me rest in peace.
Before James could say anything else, Gordon went crossly to sleep. However, some trucks overheard and came up with a tricky plan for tomorrow. The next day, Gordon backed down to a line of wagons that needed to go to the other railway. He bumped them angrily as he did.
There must be no more tricks, he ordered. I don't need it today.
That's what you think, whispered one, groaning quietly from the shove. Then the guard blew his whistle, and Gordon slowly pulled out of the yards, with the train squeaking and rumbling behind him. All went well as they puffed along the main line.
Ah, a nice, peaceful run. That's what I like to see.
said Gordon, and he started to hum a little tune to himself. Soon they were approaching Gordon's Hill, and that's where the plan commenced.
Hold back! Hold back!
The truck shouted. Gordon was having none of this and continued up the hill with every whoosh of steam he had. But this was a big mistake. When they reached the top, the truck surged forward, knocking the crew off the footplate in the process. On! They cried.
Stop pushing! Shouted Gordon.
But it was too late. After the dust cleared, there stood Gordon, once on the track, now perched uncomfortably in the field.
Are you all right, Gordon? Asked the driver. I'm fine, despite a few dents and dirt stuck in my cylinders. Why can't you trucks behave just for one day?
Ah, serves you right, you great big stupid galloping...
Stow it,
The lot of you, shouted the driver. Jim, still got your legs?
Of course I have. Why?
Go to the nearest signal box and call for the breakdown gang.
Right-o then. Hang on. What are you going to do while I'm gone?
Replied the fireman. I'm going to look after our engine, of course. Someone has to see to him.
Well, off you pop, man!
So the fireman left, grumbling as he walked to the box. After phoning them, he waited for the train to arrive, only to have a familiar engine and his crew pick him up. Meanwhile, Gordon grumbled like anything, and this sadly made his driver start to lose his cool.
Well, we could be going nicely if you haven't shouted out near the trucks last night.
Who asked you? You're just a person. You don't understand what a locomotive like me suffers.
Is that a fact, my dear Gordon? I am surprised. Gordon looked across and groaned with shame as there, standing with the crane, was Henry. I see that the trucks have treated you well, smiled Henry. Not to worry. I will get you back on the rails in 2 ticks of a tock. When he was put back on the rails, Henry pushed Gordon into a nearby siding until he came back. Of course, Gordon remained where he was and hoped that Henry would return as quick as he could.
Where is he? He grumbled. Surely Henry should be here by now.
Maybe he's gone to admire the forest again.
Sometimes he acts like if the wildlife is a sacred...
Sorry, I'm late, panted Henry. I had to wait for the points to be fixed at Wellsworth.
It's nice to see that you finally arrived, said Gordon. Now let's get a move on. I'm beginning to get cobwebs on this dratted siding.
Henry buffered up to Gordon, and then the 2 engines puffed back to the yards. The Fat Controller was there when they arrived back, and wasn't too pleased with Gordon's predicament.
What were you thinking, Gordon?
He replied.
I'm sorry, sir. The trucks had given me a hard time and they pushed me down a hill. I see,
said the Fat Controller.
I could understand that, but that wasn't the only thing I heard today. These 2 told me that you had been rude to the trucks while you were in the sheds the other night.
Gordon gulped.
Now you should have known that trucks don't like anyone being rude towards them. Some of them are sensitive and make plans out of here and engine out. I hope that today you've learned from this incident, Gordon.
And the Fat Controller left. As he did, the other engines started to chuckle at today's event.
Trucks are hard to work with, mimicked James. Coming from the engine who doesn't do anything.
Are you going to become a goods engine again? Asked Percy. Because I think it suits you. Gordon said nothing. He just sulked and remained respectfully silent for the rest of the night.